when they launch it, that day is they're clubbing it with that.
We will contact.
ठीक है start ma'am firstly good to see you what would you like to say about you would say you have been part of this for a long time tell us something hashtag every child reading it is very important reading is very important as you said tell us something about it
नहीं काफ़ी साल से हम साथ में काम कर रहे हैं यूनिसेफ के साथ एजुकेशन के बारे में लर्निंग के बारे में जैसे मैंने कहा बट आई थिंक टुडेज़ विज़िट वाज वेरी वेरी स्पेशल बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स इट इज़ हियर टू प्रमोट एवरी चाइल्ड रीडिंग और जिस तरह मैंने जैसे मैंने अपनी स्पीच में भी कहा कि डेफिनेटली जो मैंने अपनी आँखों से देखा है कि जिस तरह से स्टोरीज़ और कहानियाँ ने बच्चों को के दिमाग को इतना फ़र्क किया है द वे दे हैव ब्रॉडन देयर होराइजन्स जिस तरह से वो लोग बात कर रहे थे कहानियाँ सुना रहे थे जिस तरह से उन्होंने आंसर भी किया कि बड़े होकर क्या बनना है आई वुड क्रेडिट दैट कम्प्लीटली टू the fact that they have been reading in their primary years they have been given वो एक foundational learning जो है उन्हें दिया जा रहा है लिखने के लिए मैथ स्किल्स करने के लिए किताब उठाने पढ़ना कहानियाँ पढ़ने के लिए एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट विच वी मस्ट पुश फॉरवर्ड टू एवरी चाइल्ड बिकॉज चिल्ड्रन आर आवर फ्यूचर
काफ़ी सारी स्टोरी आज आपने सुनी रहेगी कोई ऐसी एक स्टोरी अगर आप बताना चाहो जो काफ़ी आपके दिल के करीब वो स्टोरी रहने वाली है
नहीं आई थिंक दैट सारे जो बच्चे जो हैं सब ने एक एक कहानी सुनाई कि वॉट दे लाइक उनकी जो फेवरेट स्टोरीज़ है और जब मैं कहानी पढ़ रही थी मैं एक पोएम पढ़ रही थी बच्चों के साथ एंड इट वाज अबाउट इमोशंस क्योंकि बच्चे जब पढ़ते हैं बुक दे एक्चुअली realize that the feeling of empathy they realize the feeling of emotions they get into the characters of the books that they're hearing and they start feeling that emotion क्योंकि मैंने तैमूर के साथ ये मैं एक्सपीरियंस कर रही हूँ तो एक पोएम थी इमोशंस के बारे में मैं जब सब समझा रही थी उस पोएम को दे न्यू एवरी इमोशन बिफोर दैट विच वॉज really like amazing for me to see कि the kids already knew that and I would like to credit that to the teachers who are encouraging them to read, to take out that time जैसे मैंने कहा अपनी अपनी भाषा में ये नहीं कि इंग्लिश में होनी चाहिए आई थिंक जो भाषा उन बच्चे को जो घर पे बोलते हैं जो उन्हें समझ में आता है वॉट एवर द लोकल लैंग्वेज इज़ they should read in that language it will help them guide them and set the future the tone for the future I think
I would want to know that do you think that storytelling is the base of foundational learning?
जी
मैंने अगर आप घर में माँ चाची दादी स्टोरी के फॉर्मेट में they start teaching you you feel the children
Yeah,
feel like
picking it up.
and reading
Absolutely.
follow
That's the
forward.
joy of reading.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you think that
I think that is completely true. It works wonders. कि actually if you जिस तरह से if you kind of make it into a form कि आप कहानी सुना रहे हैं बैठ के that whole experience create that entire environment I think it kind of encourages them to want to listen or want to read take their mind to a different imagination I think kids are of today are very bright they are ready for that the idea is just कि उनको engage करना पड़ता है to take out that वक्त निकाल के इन्वायरमेंट क्रिएट करके उनको इंगेज करना है तो जैसे मैंने कहा कि इंगेजमेंट नॉट नेसेसरी हैज़ टू बी इन इंग्लिश इट कैन बी इन अ लैंग्वेज दैट दे एन्जॉय अ लैंग्वेज दैट दे अंडरस्टैंड द आइडिया इज़ टू फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड टू रीड वो एक स्किल है तो उसको पुश करना चाहिए बिकॉज देन दे विल स्टार्ट वंस इट स्टार्ट्स आई नो इट आई स्टार्टेड एट अ वेरी लेट एज इन माई लाइफ बट आई थिंक के इट जस्ट हुक्स यू so children are very very vulnerable they are like sponges at this primary age of theirs कि उन्हें जो आप whatever you tell them they just absorb it so if you engage them with that story वो एक habit सा बन जाता है कि रोज़ शाम को जैसे my child is looking forward to it like Taimur looks forward to it कि he कभी कभी वो upset हो जाता है if I have to go out at that 8:30 story session time I can see that hurt in his eyes that so I also feel bad that then so we try to make up that Saif will read to him so it becomes into that habit they are like sponges
also it helps to visualize visualization for
completely it has that whole aspect where they start imagining things it broadens their horizons it I mean once you learn to read then you start reading to learn. That is the moral of the whole, I think, the whole idea of the campaign as well. So it's the idea to push them to learn to read first, for them to explore the world. You can actually sit in a small corner of your house and explore the entire world and mind diaspora, and just sitting there while knowing. Okay, so that is why it's the joy. It's literally like maybe time travel sometimes.
Ma'am, hi, my name is Lakshman. First time I'm speaking to any film person and then to other kinds of writing.
Lovely.
Now we have just spoken about child reading and all, but these days technology is just snatching the even tiny toddler, months-old babies are,
Yeah, scroll. But also COVID has done that to us.
Yeah, COVID.
हमें सबको बर्बाद किया
How
है.
do you make the reading habit interesting for your own children and the children at large?
So of course I think this is a very important question जो आपने अभी मुझे पूछा, because हम अभी जिस वक्त से गुजरे हैं, जो पैंडेमिक हुआ है, कोविड हुआ है हम सबको, आई थिंक उस वक्त हम सब बेचैनी से मर रहे थे. हमें कुछ पता ही नहीं था कि क्या हो रहा है. सेवियर क्या थी? ऑफ कोर्स जिन लोगों को पढ़ने आता था, द अडल्ट्स वर रीडिंग, सम ऑफ देम, बट बाकी जो who did not know anything and whose were impacted were the children, because they did not know. So they all also got into a bad habit of watching, scrolling, doing that, because their school going time was impacted, their learning time was impacted, the skill of teaching them how to read. So it was just a very traumatic, difficult time. But I think now parents must take out the time, and if parents are busy, जैसे मैंने कहा, friends हो, grandparents हो, दादा दादी हो, वक्त निकाले, अपने भाषा में वक्त निकालें पढ़ने के लिए, 15 मिनट 20 मिनट आई थिंक दिन में. बाकी वक्त आप स्क्रॉल करते रहे, स्पॉट खेलते रहे, वो ठीक है, बट वी मस्ट टेक आउट दिस टाइम टू encourage the child to read.
One last question from my side. Please don't get angry.
No,
or
no.
wild. Do you think film celebrities or sports celebrities make better role models, especially in this kind of education-related activity?
So I given the
general perception about the
absolutely, again a very nice valid question. Not at all, I'm not. नॉट एट ऑल. इनफैक्ट बहुत ही वैलिड क्वेश्चन है, क्योंकि आजकल सारे सेलिब्रिटीज़ जो है कुछ ना कुछ कॉज के लिए बात कर रहे हैं. तो ऑफकोर्स ये बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है जो आपने कहा. बट आई फील एवरी सेलिब्रिटी ऑफकोर्स हैज़ अ वॉइस, बट बात करना बोलना ज़रूरी नहीं है. जिस टॉपिक पे, जिस जो सब्जेक्ट है जिस पे आपके दिल के क्लोज है, जैसे दिस आई फील इज़ आई एम हियर, जैसे मैंने पहले ही कहा, आई एम नॉट हियर एज अ सेलिब्रिटी. दिस कैंपेन इज़ क्लोजली रिलेटेड टू चिल्ड्रन रीडिंग, children learning, and I'm here in the form of a mother. So I feel in this campaign, to have me associated, or where you feel a celebrity is, you feel that is something that they are probably going through, they are something, probably close to that, can relate to that. Today Tim and Jay are both reading, both understanding. Jay of course is still listening because he's still small, he can't read, but I'm encouraging them in this direction. So when this campaign started by UNICEF, I was like, it was an instant thing that just connected to me, which I felt that if as a mother I can talk to the audience or the media or people and interact with the children as a mother, not as a celebrity. I'm not talking about my films here. So I think then that would be something that they would relate to. So it has to be something where they feel that connectivity with.
May I add to that?
Yeah.
So UNICEF is 75 years old globally, and in India we will be 75 in shortly, another 2 years. From the beginning, globally and in India, we have engaged the celebrities, our goodwill ambassadors, our celebrity advocates, our champions who are famous, and it has brought tremendous support and impact and focus on children's issue. So that is why we are so excited to have Kareena for the reading campaign, because it really works. People listen. She's an actor. Whether it's a sports person, people listen because they make the celebrities make the way to people's heart and mind, and the influence is there. So that is why it is so beautiful, this relationship.
Just
No.
purely academic.
Yeah.
जी
They only here, but they have asked two questions. So the first question is, how do you think the lack of access to books and resources affects children's reading?
Of course it does. I think that the accessibility to that, that's why, nowadays there are so many of these drives, there are so many donation camps where old books, people who have, you know, the resources to get the books to read to their children. I donate to a drive all the old books because we have so many. I mean, I जैसे अभी मैंने पहले भी कहा था teachers को that I feel I live in a library because my husband actually preserves his books. He's kept his books. His mum has kept all his books that he would read as a child or she would read to him. So I think that is the value that we have for, and hopefully my children are seeing that and getting that. So for us to give a book also as a present or donate it to people who are less vulnerable, it's a very very big thing because that is it's like it's a treasure. So we would like to be involved in so many of these drives, and that's how people will get the resources and the access to, reading to books in the lesser vulnerable homes.
Thank you. The second question is, do you believe reading can help developing empathy and understanding of different perspectives in children?
I think it's, like I said, that I started very late. And of course, I started because Saif also pointed me in the direction of, um, engaging myself and engaging my mind through the pages of a book. So I definitely think that it allows you to grow in a very very special way because it allows the imagination and your mind to kind of feel for those characters and think. Like I said, that many teachers ko bhi bataya that Taimur is reading all the Amar Chitra Kathas and he's so excited about listening and reading to them that he wants to enact the parts now. He feels that now he can do that. So it's led to his mind in terms of realizing that, okay, like I love this story, I'm engaged in this story, so now I want to maybe do drama about it. So somewhere it does help, I mean, it is probably the most important tool, to the mind.
So PTI, is there any question from PTI basically? You can take one more question if that's... Then we'll conclude the press meet here. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us and being part
Thank
of
you.
this
Hello.
report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meeting is celebrity for the first time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure, sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
अरे निकल जाएंगे ये आ रहा है निकलो ना बाहर यार
I'll take it. All of you. You also stand. Virginia, give me the phone. I'll take it. Can you also stand? My phone. You. I take it and I'll yeah, because I can. It's such a lovely cup.
मैम आपके लेफ्ट करेगा भी कोई फोटो चाहिए आपके साथ
वाह
भड़क नहीं गया वो निकल ही गया
सेंटर से
पहली बार आ रहे इवेंट करने लग रहा है मेरे को बोला पहली बार
अरे यार क्या ये बच्चे लोग को क्या
ये पाजी सीधा फोन लगाऊं दिल्ली में
अरे मेरा फोटो चाहिए ना देखा
एजुकेशन इज वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट एक मिनट
Really, everybody
The food is served outside there.
I hope we are not.
हाँ
टिश्यू पेपर क्या तेरे पास?
वो पीछे रहना
अबे बैग देख किसका है? तेरी चट्टी बजे बेचना पड़ेगा तुमने बैग के लिए। बोला तेरी चड्डी